Now that we've looked ahead to the summertime and the upcoming Olympics, let's bring it back to the present and focus on one of the coolest sports in existence, ice hockey. Although it might seem a little out of place, Chinese people do in fact play North America's favorite sport on ice. Ian Jacobs has more.
They may not play the same style as North Americans, they may not even speak the same language, but in China, hockey is popular with a league of players who look no different from your average team. Meng Yo has been playing hockey since he was a kid. He's one of the best and one of the only Chinese players on the Beijing Originals, a group that's been playing hockey in Beijing for more than 35 years. With new players joining the team every year, Meng believes hockey in China is as popular as ever and will continue to grow.
Hockey is just starting to become more and more popular, with many people beginning to play and Chinese people becoming wealthier. So I think hockey can become as popular as basketball or soccer.
But the success of hockey in China has been on a slippery slope for many years. China's men's national team ranks 39th out of 48 countries, with their best tournament showing coming 30 years ago with a 15th place finish at the World Ice Hockey Championships. The women's team have fared much better, ranking 9th in the world and finishing 4th at the 1998 Winter Games in Nagano. But with the game in China going unnoticed for many years, the Beijing Originals represent just a few of what's left of China's passionate puckheads. The Beijing International Ice Hockey League was established in the mid-90s and has grown from 20 players to now more than 100. Both Chinese and Canadian players lace up their skates every week, and league founder Ray Plummer says it's the camaraderie between the players that now drives the league.
It's not just about the hockey, it's about being with a bunch of like-minded people, and now there's about 120 of us that are playing hockey every Sunday here.
Originally from Toronto, Ray had a tryout with the Sudbury Wolves of the Ontario Hockey League when he was younger, played varsity hockey at the University of New Brunswick, then moved to China in '95 and did what every good Canadian does, finds hockey.
I brought my skates with me because Canadians bring their skates everywhere and didn't know if there was hockey here. And when I found out there was, I was just happy that there was hockey. Got a stick and borrowed some equipment from the embassy, went out, and it was just kind of like pond hockey level. We have teachers, we have diplomats, engineers, students, you name it, complete cross-section of expats in Beijing. And on the ice, we're all equal.
Having been around Chinese hockey for more than 15 years, Ray has his own theories on why China's hockey team isn't as competitive as they perhaps should be.
I like to call it an economics of medals, and where the government has to put in money for a whole team to try and win a medal at the Olympics is extremely expensive and a long process, versus trying to train a couple of speed skaters or figure skaters, and those same one speed skater can win multiple medals. So what looks better in the Olympic medal bank account? That one speed skater versus a team of hockey players.
On the local level, hockey has grown into a sport that is played by the elite. As Ray points out, the price of equipment and rinks makes it hard for the lower income class to play. One of the originals, Gervais Lavoie, who began playing in China in 1976 at the Russian embassy, says China's hockey program is related to how the government operates.
I think it has to do with the way sport is organized in China. Sport is very, it's under governmental control. It's very elitic thing. So they select people mainly, not always because of their skill. People are selected because they belong to a family of players, of hockey players. They belong to this and this and that. And they put a team together. I think it's mainly has to do with the structure of sport in China in general.
China currently has just 10 outdoor rinks and just more than 600 registered hockey players in the entire country, numbers that show a drastic lack of interest from a nation more than 1.3 billion strong. But players on the Originals have a common bond, and every Sunday, regardless of nationality or class, they share their love for hockey. For East West Sports on BON, I'm Ian Jacobs.
Ian now joins us in the studio. Now, Ian, we've seen football here in China, and we've seen basketball and soccer, obviously. Now, what about hockey? Is there a chance for it to grow? Is there a chance for the NHL, for example, to get a piece of the action?
Yeah, there is. The NHL actually had a game or a series of games scheduled in 2010. Charles Wang, who's from Shanghai, the owner of the Islanders, had a 9-day event scheduled for the Islanders to actually come to Beijing and play the men's national team. Unfortunately, the game was canceled. The trip was canceled. Now, That was in 2010. There's been nothing since then. So the NHL, they have that connection with Charles Wang. As long as he's the owner of the Islanders, they have the connection to China, but they haven't come up with any other plans to come back into China.
Okay, so if it's not going to work from the top down, what about the bottom up? You know, we've seen a local hockey league there in your feature. You know, what's holding these guys back from really growing?
Well, a number of things are. It's really unfortunate. If you look at a sport, the growth of any sport in any country, it always starts with a grassroots movement. Now, we say this on our show before, but it really is the fact of the matter. You have to start from the ground and you got to build up. But the problem is funding in most sense. We saw Ray Plummer talk about the economics of medals. He says that there's really not much point in putting that much money into a team that will only win them one medal at the Olympics when they can put it into speed skating or figure skating. So funding is a big problem.
Now talk a little bit about the culture of hockey. Do they grasp that here?
Yeah, it's weird when you see hockey in China. A lot of people wouldn't think that it exists because of the cultural differences between North America and between China. Now, anyone who's been around the game for a while, anyone who studied the game or played it knows that there is a huge culture in hockey. And whether you're a knuckle dragger or whether you're a finesse guy, you play within the rules. There's also sort of an unwritten rule and unwritten codes in hockey, how you carry yourself. Now, Ray told me a few stories of local guys that play here. They use their sticks the wrong way. They slash, like they just don't get sort of the rules of hockey, sort of the unwritten rules of what you should and shouldn't do. He told me of one guy who attacked a referee with a stick. The referee went down and they had to pull the referee off the ice. Now, in any normal structured league, you'd think that the game would be called off. Not here. Ray was actually asked to continue refereeing and he respectfully declined.
Now, in the piece, you mentioned that the Chinese national teams rank near the bottom of their respective fields. Now, what about them on an international level? Is that something that can be improved?
Well, the question is not can it be improved, but when will it be improved? China has all the infrastructure it needs at a basic level in place in terms of climate. China has the potential to, but we're not sure when that potential is actually going to be reached.
Now, Ian, last thing, you spent some time in Canada growing up. How come we didn't see you out there on the ice?
Well, Aaron, I have way too much dangle to be out there on the ice with the Chinese guys. It would have just been an embarrassing for them, not for me. So maybe next time.
Well, anyway, Ian, thanks a lot. You're watching East West Sports on BON. Up next, it's Back Page.